Alright, last week I did a video where I did a very basic MIDI sync between the Tascam Model 12 and a drum machine. Well, today I'm doing a MIDI sync with the Roland Verselab MV1. And what I did is, you can see I've got the MIDI out coming from the Model 12, because the Model 12 does need to serve as the master in this case. And it's going into the MIDI in on the Roland Verselab. Now with the Roland Verselab, you can do a lot of great things. It's a really great machine. But when it comes to recording audio tracks, you're limited. Again, I don't want to take anything away from what this machine can do. In fact, paired up with the Model 12, for some people it could actually be the perfect combination. Inside the Verselab, and I won't get into it too deep, but you've got a sound module and a sequencer, and you arrange things in clips. And if you synchronize it to the Model 12, then you can add additional audio tracks. And in the example that I'm going to do for you today, I'm adding a very simple guitar track and a very simple vocal track. And before we get to that, I want to say I am not a professional singer. So please, I know the vocals are terrible, but it's just for demonstration purposes only. You're going to be able to do a lot better job than what you see me doing today. Okay, I did a very basic drum track, a very basic bass line, added one other instrument on the Roland Verselab in advance, okay? And that actually took me quite a while to do, because I haven't used this machine very much. Now, one of the nice things about the Verselab is you can adjust the levels of the instruments individually. And being synchronized to the Model 12 means that if you don't like the mix coming out of the Verselab, even though you've already recorded your guitar parts, external synthesizer parts, and vocal parts, and it could be multiple, on the Model 12 in perfect sync with the Verselab, you can go back and you can change things on the Verselab. It's just a very, very small example of the potential of what you can do if you synchronize these two machines. So I took an electric guitar and I plugged it directly into channel 3. I selected instrument input on the mixer to give it that higher impedance matching. And then I didn't use any effects or anything at all. I just recorded straight in. And normally I wouldn't do that. I'd probably use a number of different effects and actually print them to the track, but that's just the way I decided to do it for this demo. I did run my vocals through an effects box. It is the Boss VE20. The Vocal Performer. And this device actually has very similar vocal effects to what you would find in the Roland Verselab. I recorded 2 tracks coming out of the VE20 into tracks 7 and 8 so that they would be in stereo on the Model 12. So here you're just hearing me sing, and all you're hearing is what's going into the camera. Because I couldn't have the speakers on, obviously there would be feedback, etc.
This is my song recorded on the Model 12.
Okay, so I think I've given you enough today so that you get the idea why you might want to do something like this. So this is the win-win situation. For people who have a Verselab, you've got the Model 12, so you can have additional audio tracks instead of the limitations that are inside the Verselab. For Model 12 owners, if you're thinking about getting an external device that can add a lot of different sounds, high quality sounds, and you really didn't hear a very good demonstration here of the variety of sounds that you can get out of the Verselab, but it's an excellent drum machine and an excellent sound module, even if you don't use the internal sequencer. The Verselab also has automation. Of course, you've got your standard level and pan automation, but in addition to that, you can automate several other different parameters on here so that whenever it plays back, all of that happens automatically. So good stuff there. All right, that's it. So thank you for watching.